Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Musical lyrical lingo. Every episode a new bingo. Laugh and sing, go with the flow. Tune in as the memories grow.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
And LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
Do you know, it's so weird because we're not recording as regularly at the moment because I'm busy. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've seen you.
It has been.
I know, I'm sorry.
I mean, it hasn't in the grand scheme of things. It's been 4 weeks, but because we were regular, like clockwork.
Like clockwork. Honest to goodness, I spend more time here than I did in my own house.
So, it's nice to see your face. I always miss you.
Thanks, me too. I always miss me too. No joking, I missed you too. Yes, no, it's lovely. How have we been? All good?
Yeah, all good.
Good.
Really busy and gearing up for a really big birthday at the weekend.
I know.
Party and then birthday and then a really big holiday. So I feel like life is go.
EP, Aaron, currently absent from his role and job. I mean, we should really strip it from him, but it is his birthday, so we can't. Yeah, it's his big birthday at the weekend, isn't it? Yeah.
So,
We'll maybe give him a musical lyrical lingo quiz, see how much he's learned from us over the years.
Yeah, we'll tell him.
Spoof. We have to start this episode with an apology.
What's the apology about?
Well, did I get my knuckles wrapped?
By father?
Yes.
I love it. Okay.
Absolutely. So my dad, who I just now assumed he just doesn't listen anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because
we chatted too much.
We went through, yes, we chatted. It's a bit too much chat at the beginning, maybe, was the last feedback I got. And then you would have asked him. Yeah. And it was very clear he hadn't been listening. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, stuff that, I'm not going to ask again. So I got this message because our last episode went down very well.
Oh my goodness, you loved it.
Yeah.
And we loved the fact that you loved it and gave us all that feedback. So,
and because we loved it too. Actually, it was lovely and different for us as well. So we're talking about our spotlight episode. So we'll definitely do another one of those maybe soon. Yeah. Maybe we need to put more in a year than we had originally planned, because we had only planned for a couple, hadn't we? But
I think there'll be a regular feature.
Well, on Wednesday, the 11th of March, the following message came through.
Oh dear.
Gutted you didn't ask your own father, whose MA thesis for his qualification at Queen's University was in George Gershwin, The Evolution of a Serious Composer.
Oh, no.
Snubbed in the extreme, he said.
I didn't even mention that he did it.
I didn't even know.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go.
This was news to me. He follows on. I want an apology in the next podcast.
Can we read it? Does he still have his thesis?
I don't know. I think he wants invited onto the pod, and that's not happening. So
we'd have to be too much chat there, Ian. Just keep going.
So what I said to him was, well, somebody went on holiday, because that's what my dad's life is now, just one constant holiday. I said, did we get him right? Question mark. Did we do well? Yes, you did, he says.
Are you joking? I feel like that is high praise.
I know. I thought that too. He said, yes, you did. He desperately tried to find acceptance by serious composers of the day, and I'd asked people and then he goes into all this waffle But despite being snubbed, it was great. So there you go.
I'm made up.
Then the next day, out of nowhere.
Okay.
Did you also know that the first hint of the brain tumour was to take Gershwin's life? I think it's maybe quoting from his thesis now.
Okay, yeah.
Was when he was doing a live performance of Rhapsody in Blue in Carnegie Hall, and he forgot what music came next. P.S. You were right about the awful pronunciation of the composers' names.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay, well, back down to earth there.
Joking aside, a nice wee podcast delve into the musical daddy of them all.
Like, can we frame that? Can we print that? Screenshot that? Like, because that is like top praise. Like, he said that we did a good job. Like, I know. From someone who did the thesis on the man. I want to read his thesis.
Yeah, well, I'll get in contact and see if he. I'm sure he could get his hands to it quite easily. Mm-hmm. He was very good with all of those things. Like, he has everything filed and boxed.
I'm sure.
Whereas I couldn't tell you where I put last week. I couldn't tell you where I put my notes for this podcast, to be honest, until the other day. Yes, there we go. He felt very snubbed in the extreme, he said.
Well, I was going to say maybe we invite him on for one of our next likes, but he hasn't mastered in them. So
no, he needs to go back and listen to the whole back catalogue before he gets anywhere near the podcasting sofa, in my opinion. He also said, liked your world musical news at the start.
Oh.
So let's keep him happy while we talk about some world musical news just for Papa Bear right there.
I love it.
Honestly, at least he'll be delighted he got his mention and his apology. So it's kind of been award season, hasn't it, recently? First of all, well done to Jessie Buckley on her Oscar. But the What's on Stage Awards were recently, and the night was dominated by Paddington the musical. We knew this was going to happen. That bear must be absolutely bloody exhausted. They are rolling Paddington out. Literally, they are rolling that bear out everywhere. I'd be asking for more money. So Paddington is, I know, true that. They scooped an incredible 9 awards from its record-breaking 14 nominations, while Rachel Ziegler claimed 2 awards, one for Best Actress in Evita, and then the second one for her concert that was in the Palladium. Jonathan Bailey won his first, which blows my mind, the fact that Jonathan Bailey hasn't won a What's on Stage award until recently. Yeah. So he won an award for his Richard II. Having previously been nominated for Cock the Play, and then Company, the musical. Stephen Fry won for his Lady Bracknell in the National Theatre's Importance of Being Earnest. That was the National Importance of Being Earnest has been on YouTube recently for free. Have you watched it? Very good.
I mean, it'll be hard to beat the one that we sing as well.
I know, that is true. And talking about Papa Bear, we took him back because it was back in, whilst Amber Davies won Best Actress in a musical for her turn in The Great Gatsby. Yeah. Les Miserables walked away with Best West End Show. Okay. It's never going to get old, is it? No. Then, of course, the Olivier Awards have been, the nominations have been announced. So the 2026 Olivier Award nominations were announced on the 5th of March. And they've been defined this year by the joint lead from Paddington the musical again and Into the Woods, the Bridge Theatre's Into the Woods, which secured 11 nominations each in a competitive year, marking the 50th anniversary.
Yes, I
hope it's big.
We get to watch.
Well, yeah, because I have now gone back on my soapbox again because I was watching the TV and they showed basically all of the Oscars this year on ITV. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't realize the Oscars are so bloody boring.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, like really, so boring.
It does depend on the host.
Awful.
This year wasn't.
It wasn't funny. It was slow. It was awful.
Sometimes there's wee skits and wee things.
Yeah.
But
no, it was awful.
Years haven't been great.
It was really bad, and I thought if they're putting this on TV. The Olivier ceremony would wipe the floor with the Oscars. So come on, TV executives, do your job. So The nods include Best New Musical and Best New Revival, respectively, for Paddington and Into the Woods. Also recognition for the directors, Luke Shepherd and Jordan Fine, and several acting and design categories. Other nominations include Evita, that has got 5 nominations. The producers, which I would love to have seen, in the Garrick, they've been nominated for 4. And here we are, Stephen Sondheim's final musical, which was staged in the National Theatre. It's received 3 nominations. Now, interestingly, some are saying there's been quite a surprise snub for Best Director Jamie Lloyd. Okay. Because he has been denied any nominations this year for both his production of Much to Do About Nothing at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane, and then obviously Evita, starring Rachel Ziegler, which were 2 of the most talked about, sold out and critically acclaimed productions of 2025. So interesting. But the winners will be revealed on the 12th of April at the Royal Albert Hall, and no doubt we'll get a highly condensed version of a highlight show at 11 o'clock at night at some point.
Well, maybe they'll listen. And
well, we know on this podcast, sometimes all we have to do is mention it. And then West End Live have set their 2026 dates.
Changed a few things as well about their sort of structure, haven't they?
Have they? I didn't realise that. So it's returning to Trafalgar Square on Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st of June with free performances from West End productions across the weekend. What changes do you know of?
No, I think... I don't know what the changes are. I just read somewhere they said with a new structure, so I didn't go into
it'll be interesting to see then.
So I don't know whether or not that means they're getting more acts in. Maybe like change the day or something, or I'm not sure.
It will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
The last bit of news is a bit of Legally Blonde drama.
It's ridiculous.
It's a lot. So there's a lot actually that can be said.
Yeah.
First off, following... So my news is actually about quite a cool sounding concert performance that they did this week. So because of Amber Davies' chest infection and other cast absences, the producers of Legally Blonde took steps to deliver a concert performance of the show in Milton Keynes on the 14th of March. Grace Moet and Jodie Steele both joined this concert production for one night. Both of them had appeared in Legally Blonde in previous productions in the past. So Jodie Steele had previously played Margot in the open air staging of Legally Blonde in Leicestershire in 2015. So she played Paulette in the concert, and then Grace Moet, who we saw in Mean Girls, she had played Pillar in the open air staging in Regent's Park open air in 2022. She played Serena. So that was my news, because I thought, isn't it amazing that producers can't, like, that's a new thing, isn't it? And it's come about since COVID, hasn't it? Like, bringing people in, and it just shows how incredible the business is, that there are people that can just step in and step out of a show with minimal rehearsals. It just shows how talented they absolutely are. But I suppose whilst we're on it, there has been so much media and social media about Amber Davies' absence from Legally Blonde. What are your thoughts?
So since this show has been in previews, it has been horrific. The social media attention has been awful. So first of all, people are like pitting Hannah Lothar and Amber Davies against each other.
I know.
Now, if anybody has seen Legally Blonde, we obviously did our episode on it. Elle is one of those characters that she is never off the stage. It is a high demand role. So this is a character that does need an alternate. Yeah. Just like in Six the Musical, there's alternates. So
in most shows now, in most big shows, like Wicked has alternates. Any show where the lead, the alternate every Monday, and it keeps the show going.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're doing 8 shows a week. Guys. Like, it is high demand. and they're human beings.
Correct.
So everyone was like, oh, it should have went to Hannah. Like, I mean, when were you a casting director or when were you a producer? Like, that's your opinion, whatever. I'm sure both girls are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And Hannah's still in the show every day anyway, as Margot. So Hannah had to come on 2 weeks early before a preview because Amber was sick, and then Amber came back in, but she just hasn't shifted her illness. And like, I was watching one of her lives or one of her stories, and like, she literally went from Gatsby into, she was a last minute addition into Strictly, and then straight into
Legally. She hasn't stopped.
She hasn't let her body rest, recover, recuperate. So of course, if she's going to get something, and she also did Back to the Future did the 4 the 4 that's so right. She was doing that. Like, I mean, she has been doing a lot, right? And social media has come on and been like, oh, it's terrible, Hannah should have just got the part from day one. And then with the concert, people are going, this is not what we paid for, like, we shouldn't have had it. Well, what would you nothing? I mean, oh my goodness, they were able to put something on for you. Yes, it was a concert version, you paid for a show, I get that, but you still got something. And they tried everything. They literally called people in at 11 o'clock. Girl currently playing Margot is the choreographer. I mean, guys.
And I kind of got, with the whole thing, I kind of got a little bit I was a bit disappointed with musical theatre fans and also musical theatre journalists who should know better. Like, ridiculous.
And women.
Yeah. Well, I obviously can't say that, but you can.
Like, women destroying other women. Or trying to say that another woman is glad that this has happened because then they get to do the part that should have been. It's just horrible.
And it's so ironic that the show is Legally Blonde. There is that very line in Legally Blonde. Girls shouldn't be making other girls look bad to make them look better. Do you know, like Elle actually says a line along those lines, doesn't she? But I just couldn't understand, like, you know, musical theatre or theatre journalists and theatre fans should know just how important an alternate is, or, you know, swings are. Do you know what I mean? And
like, I think if a cast gets sick, like, you know, and if an illness runs through the whole cast, I mean, there's not really anything you can do. They're working in close proximity together. It's going to happen. But I think if you've exhausted your swings and then you're off swings and you had to call people in and you're still putting on a production, amazing.
You've gone above and beyond there. You really have. Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting. I was like, I have to talk to Lauren because I knew you'd have.
I was irate about the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, will we move on to our musical for this week then? Let's bring it up. Let's bring the mood up on nice and cheery.
Yes, well, bring it up.
Yeah. I have wonderful, wonderful memories of this show. Like, I'll never forget this show. What is it?
It's Company.
It's Company. Yep. Lots of company.
So music by Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah.
By George Firth, who, if people don't know who he is, he was a playwright, but he was also an actor. Did appear in my daddy's favourite film, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and one of my favourite TV shows from the 60s, not that I was alive then, I Dream of Jeannie.
I have not heard. Well, I've heard of Butch Cassidy. I've never watched it, but the TV show, no, never heard of it before in my life.
Oh, he was in that. But yeah, he originally, George Firth wrote Company as like little one act plays.
Yeah.
And then it was turned into a musical. I think that's in my fun facts somewhere, but you know, I haven't read my notes, so I'm trying
You are hilarious. So, Company was among the first book musicals to deal with contemporary dating, marriage, and divorce, and is a notable example of a concept musical which lacks a linear plot. So, if you're going for a storyline or a plot, it ain't the musical for you. Yeah,
there's no start and end, as in you can't go, oh, this is the beginning of it, and this is it. You know. It's great.
They're the concept musicals are works of musical theatre with a book and score structured to develop and embody like a theme or a message rather than conveying a narrative plot.
Yeah. It was Harold Prince who decided that the plays would make a really good musical and told Sondheim, these will make a really good musical.
You got to do it.
Make it a musical. And that was in the 70s. So production was also nominated for a record-setting 14 Tony Awards, and they did win 6.
Yeah.
There's loads of themes within Company, and even though Firth was gay, they refused to update it at the time and give it that gay slant. But obviously, we know that there's been gender role reversals as the years have gone on. But I thought that was interesting that he was kind of like, I've written it how I've written it, and I'm happy enough for it to stay the way it is. So. Yeah.
So it is a series of vignettes. Yeah. So Company follows in the original a bachelor called Bobby interacting with his married friends who throw a party for his 35th birthday. Aaron's not 35th birthday. George Firth wrote 11 one-act plays. So, and that's basically it. Like, it just follows this bachelor and what life is like as a bachelor. And you know, his interaction with his friends. And so the original Broadway production opened actually in Boston and out of town tryouts and received mixed reviews. Now, it was directed by Hal Prince and it opened then in Broadway in the Alvin Theatre on the 26th of April 1970, closing on the 1st of January 1972 after 705 performances. The opening cast included Dean Jones, who replaced Anthony Perkins early in rehearsals, Donna McKechnie and Elaine Stritch. So big musical theatre names were in this cast. The musical staging was also by Michael Bennett, who we know from A Chorus Line, and was assisted by Bob Avian, who himself is a big musical theatre player. Displeased with the show and struggling with personal issues, Dean Jones left the show in May 1970.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and it was believed that he quit the production citing stress and depression related to a recent collapse of his marriage. And if you've seen this show, you can totally understand why that is. In his 1982 autobiography, Under Running Laughter, he wrote of Company, it was a clever, bright show on the surface, but its underlying message declared that marriage was, at best, a vapid compromise, insoluble and finally destructive.
Interesting.
It is interesting because it's when we get to our musical lyrical lingos, I kind of get that. I kind of get that quote. I get what he's saying. Because I do tend to agree with him at times based on the pictures and the lyrics and that the characters paint of marriage. I kind of go, why bother? Sometimes, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it was, as you say, it was nominated for 14 Tony Awards, winning 6 of them, including score and book for Stephen Sondheim, best director for Harold Prince, and best book for George Firth, and of course, obviously, best musical.
Yeah. The set design was by Boris Aronson.
I'll ask my dad. He's really good with pronunciations.
Which had 2 working elevators and various vertical platforms, which are to emphasize the theme of isolation.
Okay.
Which is very clever. So 1970s, then there was a revival in 1995. Bob Marshall was the choreographer for that. It moved to the West End in 1972.
It did, at Her Majesty's Theatre, wasn't it?
And Prince directed it. Michael Bennett was choreographer.
And a lot of the Broadway cast members came over to reprise their roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a theme. And then 1995, there was the West End, and that was the Sam Mendes at the Donmar. And obviously, we always hear lots of wonderful productions happen there. But Adrian Lester's in that one, and he was the first black actor to play Bobby. this version is sometimes on BBC4.
Yeah, because it was. I think I have it on my like recorded because it was on. I think at Christmas maybe.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah,
like even it was definitely on around this time last year.
Yeah,
maybe it was like Easter or something.
And it was nominated for 4 Olivier Awards, winning 3, including Best Actor for Adrian Lister and Best Director for Sam Mendes.
2006, then there was another Broadway revival, and it was in Cincinnati, and it was there was a cast recording. I would listen to that cast recording a bit, actually. It had Raul Esparza, and it was directed and choreographed by John Doyle.
Yeah.
And then one which I have seen lots of times is the 2011.
Yeah, just on the 2006 revival, it was almost an actor muso one as well, where the actors themselves provided the orchestral accompaniment, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it won the Tony Award for Best Revival of a Musical that year.
Yeah, it's filmed. You can see that on YouTube. It's Braylon. I love that one. So Neil Patrick Harris is in it. Stephen Colbert's in it. John Cryer, Patti LuPone, Christina Hendricks, and then we have the 2018 gender event where Bobby is Bobby with an IE and Amy becomes Jamie. Sondheim did approve of the changes, and he worked with revisions of the script with Elliot. Yeah, and Patti LuPone and Ben Lewis also reprised their roles in that. But before we go any further, did you watch the documentary?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not going to give any more details about this
documentary number. Only 2. I think there was 1.
So there's an award-winning documentary by D.A. Penbaker called Making of Company.
Okay.
And it is the making of the original cast recording.
Oh, right, okay.
If you have an hour, watch it.
Okay.
I am telling everybody to watch it. It is sensational.
Okay.
Sensational.
Why?
Because these actors have obviously just performed, and then they have come to this recording studio to record their musical. Yeah. Sondheim is there. Yeah. Firth is there. Yeah. His understanding and of the vocal, of the voice, and what is amazing. Is he harsh on those actors? Yes. Yeah. But does he get amazing results? Yes. Yeah. I don't want to tell you anything about it.
Is that the documentary where Elaine Stritch loses the plot?
Dresses a wee dinner lady and absolutely sings it 18 times and then goes home, comes back, and as you're watching it, you're like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and she's not happy with that.
It's so 70s as well, but it is a great.
I think I've seen bits of it because I recall that scene going, oh my goodness, you wouldn't have messed with Elaine Stritch,
No.
Wow, okay.
It's so good. You have to watch it.
Okay. So talking of have to watch it, I went and saw this 2018 gender bent production of it. And you know what? Dad and I went to London, and it was after a pretty difficult period, and we just went, and we hadn't anything booked, and we just decided, oh, sure, we'll go and see this. We knew that Patti LuPone was in it, but I also went, she won't be on, we're not going to see Patti LuPone. Did we see her? And it's one of the, when there's certain things that you'll have seen in your life and you'll never forget it, and you'll always remember that night, and this is one of them, because I didn't, to be quite honest with you, I didn't give Company that much of my time. Okay. Because I kind of went, it was almost like any recording I ever heard was like, he's just giving off about not being with somebody or not wanting to be with somebody. Or, do you know what I mean? I was like, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? And then I saw this one and I went, wow. I actually think, now maybe I'm not the right person to judge because I've never seen a production where Bobby was a man live. Yeah. But I actually think the idea that Bobby, Bobbie, the main character in this production was a woman played brilliantly by Rosalie Craig. It really worked. It actually worked in all ways for The musical?
I think this is what you need to understand about company. Company is something you need to study. I'd say this about Sondheim's work anyway. There are so many layers to Sondheim that until you understand when it was written, why it was written, who was in it, look at the lyrics, look at the music, look at the tempo, look at the setting, look at the location, look at you need to look at everything.
Yeah.
The fact that they changed Bobby to a female, then that added pressure, and that constant tick-tock clock also adds to a biological clock. So therefore there feels like there's more pressure on Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. And Marianne Elliott, the director, has to take a huge bow because it was her that kind of went to
Sondheim and asked.
To Sondheim and asked. As you said, it also the production featured the same-sex couple for the first time, with Jonathan Bailey as the cold-footed groom Jamie, originally written for a female character Amy, and then Alex Gaumond as his devoted fiance Paul. Sondheim approved the changes and worked on revisions of the script with director Elliott. Sondheim loved this production. He said it's thrilling from beginning to end, and the last scene of Act 1, which is now the two guys, will completely shatter you, as well as being one of the funniest scenes on record. All due to Jonathan Bailey, the guy playing Jamie, the Amy equivalent. I only wish George Firth, the book's writer, could see it. And director Marianne Elliott said on re-imaging Amy as a man, when I was auditioning in London, I couldn't find a person to play Amy. I also felt like this woman wasn't a very modern woman. So then I did a crazy thing. I asked a friend of mine, Jonathan Bailey, would you mind coming in and trying something for me? It's a bit crazy. So she says, we worked for maybe an hour and a half and it wasn't perfect, but I felt gasp. This is exciting. There's potential here. So I then immediately got on the email to Steve and I said, Steve, you have to be sitting down. You have to be having a glass of wine in your hand and take a deep breath. But I'm going to say something to you. I think possibly we should change Amy into a man. And Steve's reply sums him up really as a collaborator. He basically said, Marianne, you need to be sitting down. You need to have a glass of wine in your hand and you need to take a deep breath. I think it's a great idea. I really wanted to meet Stephen Sondheim. He just, as you say, like from the documentary, he knows what he wants. But he also just sounds like salt of the earth, like great person, like a great collaborator to work with.
I didn't watch the documentary and thought, oh my gosh, he's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, no, I was like, I had so much respect for him.
Yeah.
Also, so did the artist. Yeah. And he was respectful of the artist. But was he pushing them? Was he saying, you're saying it like this and you should say it like this? And to an untrained ear, it would be like, he's being really fussy. But actually, he makes sense because he knows it. He knows what it is he's
written. He wrote it.
Yeah, he knows what
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think actors need to remember that when they have the opportunity to work with people who have written the material. They know best. They've written it, for goodness sake. So, like, if Stephen Sondheim was wanting to give me notes,
you would listen.
You would listen, wouldn't you? Of course, then that production went on to Broadway in 2001. Patti LuPone, of course, she reprised her role, darling. And Katrina Lenk, Lenk, was the Broadway's female Bobby. It originally was supposed to open on Stephen's 90th birthday, which was the 22nd of March 2020. But after 9 preview performances, the production came to a halt because of the coronavirus, and all Broadway shows went dark. The production did then resume previews in November 2021, with Sondheim in attendance shortly before his death. And then the cast, the musicians and the crew then dedicated their entire run to the late composer.
Yeah.
It won lots of awards too. Best revival of a musical, best featured actor in a musical for Matt Doyle. It's quite interesting that part of Jamie won. Jonathan Bailey won the Olivier for it. Matt Doyle won it in the Tony in Broadway. But yeah. The documentary film Keeping Company with Sondheim, is that the one you're talking about, or is this a different one?
Yeah.
So there is another one then, Keeping Company with Sondheim, which aired on Great Performances in May 2022, examining this production alongside the show's previous incarnations.
Oh, I must watch that.
Yeah, I know, because you love a documentary.
I do. Originally, it was meant to be called Threes. It was then going to be called Married People, and then they settled on Company.
Oh, I'm glad. The last title is definitely the best.
Yeah. Originally, audiences were confused because of the no linear plot.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like Shakespeare. Shakespeare can't be read.
No.
Sondheim can't just be listened to. I think you've got to do a mixture of studying, watching, and kind of going. And I suppose in the 70s, you know, if even like you think of like Chorus Line, whenever it first came out, people were like, what's this too?
Yeah.
You know, like whenever things were maybe just a wee bit odd, it did take audiences maybe a moment just to kind of like connect with it and click with it. But I mean, it's still around.
Yeah. I think I only clicked with it though when I saw it.
Okay.
I think having seen it, and I do definitely think the switch in gender helped me access it, because I just didn't have the feelings for Bobby when Bobby was a man.
Interesting.
And
had you seen the 2011 version before you'd seen?
No, the only version I ever saw, the first version I saw, the first amount of time I really gave to Company was when we went and saw that 2018 production. Yeah.
Okay.
Because until then, I'd listened to it. But you know, when you listen to something, you're like, yeah, that was good. Yeah. And then you listen to other stuff and you're like, oh no, I have to listen to it again. Yeah. And there are some like big musical theatre iconic songs in there, which is fine, but even them, they didn't land with me ever until I kind of experienced it.
Listeners, if you haven't seen it, I do think that the 2011 production that is available on YouTube is a great production to go and watch. If you've only ever just listened to it, go and do watch it, because there are similarities here. It does make sense. So, and
it obviously has been done so many times.
Yes.
So, fun fact, Broadway productions of the Musical Company have received a total of 28 Tony nominations.
Wow.
Yeah, across 4 different stagings, and I think 14 wins, if my maths is correct. The musical has a highly successful track record, winning Best Production in 3 out of its 4 Broadway outings.
That's cool.
Yeah, once as a musical and twice as a Best Revival. So there you go.
Okay. So the show is meant to sound like New York's fast-paced environment, and the fact that it's loud. There's 3 key couples within the show. So we've got Bobby, and then he's got friends around him.
Yeah.
And I suppose these are part of my like musical lyrical lingos as well, is kind of just delving into these couples. So we have Sarah and Harry, who are happily married. But they're constantly competing with each other. He's a recovering alcoholic and she's always on a diet, and they practice karate on each other, which is kind of a bit like their outlet of like trying to get their frustrations out. And that, I suppose, is a way to show that marriage is always a constant loving struggle. Yeah. Because I do believe that they love each other.
Yeah.
It just, and everybody's relationship, everybody looks at other people's relationships and like, oh, I couldn't do that, because that's fine. That's not your relationship. But yeah, their sort of lesson is that they're constantly having to fight each other, I suppose. Yeah. And then Susan and Peter, they're meant to be the perfect couple.
Yeah.
but they announce that they're getting divorced. And in fact, they actually get on better whenever they're divorced.
Yeah.
Than they do whenever they are married. And I suppose for that relationship, it's meant to signify that titles don't define your relationship.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be, married, or it doesn't have to be the norm. Mm-hmm. Jenny and David are meant to be seen as the square couple. These two make me laugh so much. That's all I'm going to say. Marriage often involves one person being the anchor. And Amy and Paul. Then Amy is terrified of marriage, or Jamie, and is terrified that marriage is going to change everything. Yeah. And that's, I suppose, like everybody says, oh, you're going to get cold feet, or like everybody is like, you're afraid. Like fear is a natural part of taking a leap, no matter what the relationship is. And then you have Joanne and Larry, who are the older, cynical socialites, maybe one day, don't just watch life from the sidelines because it passes you quickly. Yeah. So. Yeah.
That was one of my biggest musical lyrical lingos, was just the imperfection of marriage. Yeah. So, and the songs are so brilliant. Like Stephen Sondheim, he is a genius. The song Sorry Grateful highlights that marriage is never purely happy or unhappy, but a complex mix of both. The couples in the show who are good and crazy show that relationships are about compromise, combat, and maintaining affection despite flaws. Authentic love involves accepting the always sorry, always grateful, which is what they sing in that song, reality of being with another person. Mm-hmm. And then in the little things you do together, Joanne sings as married couple Harry and Sarah are fighting. As you say, they're always fighting, with the fighting freezing when Joanne enters to sing. She claims it's the little things you do together that bring couples together and improve their relationship. It is a comedic list song, with each little thing getting progressively crueler and more shocking to the audience, culminating in Joanne's assertion that even getting a divorce together makes perfect relationships. Can I share some of my favorite lyrics in that song? So I love, they sing, it's not talk of God and the decades ahead that allows us to get through the worst. It's I do and you don't, and nobody said that. And who brought the subject up first, right? Have you said those things in your marriage? Never. The little ways you try together, cry together, lie together, that makes perfect relationships. Being a cliche together, growing old and grey together, withering away together, that makes marriage a joy. It's not so hard to be married. It's much the cleanest of crimes. It's not so hard to be married. I've done it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, so that it's one of my favorite lines. Then, and what do you want to get married for? Like, that's the name of one of the songs. What do you want to get married for? Is another song which shows a less than positive light on marriage. They sing, what do you like? You like coming home to a kiss, somebody with a smile at the door. What do you like? You like indescribable bliss. Then what do you want to get married for? What do you like? You like laughter filling your day, someone on your side evermore. What do you like? You like constant showers of praise. Then what do you want to get married for? What do you want to get married for?
See, I think we are interpreting that in 2 different ways.
Well, what do you mean?
So I see that as them being sarcastic.
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so like...
But also...
Saying, so you don't want to have a kiss and you don't want to have that? All right, okay.
No, I'm totally reading it that when you get married, coming home to a kiss...
Doesn't happen. Or, indescribable bliss. It's not indescribable bliss, like 24/7, because you're now married. But then we're coming from 2 different places as well. You're married, I'm not. So it's quite interesting. But that doesn't really matter either. But I just mean... we're interpreting it in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
I see it as them being like saying to him, oh, right, so you don't want that. Like, oh, would you not like that? And then, oh, but I don't know. I just see it more in a positive way.
Okay.
Than in a negative way.
You're so good.
Yeah.
Well, then let's talk about getting married today. Let's see if this is in a positive light.
Let me talk about my Sorry Grateful and the little things you do as soon as we talk about them. So, yeah, in Sorry Grateful, I feel like two feelings can be at once. So he says sorry. Yeah. He says grateful. Sorry for your freedom, but grateful to share a life with somebody. And I feel that's what that is sort of saying too.
Oh, yeah.
You can drive a person crazy, but... that's in you can drive a person crazy. But the little things you do together, marriage is not just the wedding day. It's the 100,000 things you do after the wedding or after your commitment. And sometimes it's the small, annoying moments. Intimacy is built on friction, not just harmony. Yeah. Sometimes when you get through a really hard patch together, that can bring you closer for some people. And I suppose if we go back to our Gershwin, the way you sip your tea, like just something small like that. I think that's where the little things you do together. Yeah. Like sometimes Aaron and I will be like, oh, this is nice. You know, like just where you've maybe just caught 5 minutes together or you've got to do something and you appreciate that beauty of just being present together in each other's like company. But okay, the patter song.
Can I just say, none of this means I don't want to get married. I do want to get married. I'm not against marriage. I am not against marriage. In case that's coming across like, I'm like, what do you want to get married for? So, the Getting Married Today song is a very self-explanatory, really. Yeah. With its regards to marriage, it is a top speed patter song which mimics a nervous break. It is absolutely hilarious. A nervous breakdown as one half of the couple get cold feet on their wedding day. In the 2018 revival, I'll keep going back list because it's the one I saw. This is where the couple's been reimagined and somewhat rewritten as a gay couple, Paul and Jamie. There is a very funny vicar in the song who is reoccurring and has reoccurring choruses throughout. And she, in the production I saw, she appeared from out of the fridge. Oh, okay. Or she just appeared in the kitchen in the most randomest of places, which added to the craziness of it. And each time she appeared, it just became more doom and gloom. So she begins the song, "Bless this day, pinnacle of joy. Boy unites with boy. The heart leaps up to behold this golden day." Then, contrasting with that, later reflecting on Jamie's negative outlook on marriage, "Bless this day, opposite of joy. Boy gets yoked to boy. The heart sinks down and feels dead this dreadful day." Yeah. It's just very funny. I love it. It is. Yeah. So this song is used, the extreme speed is to show the character's mental state, a panic attack, but in 4/4 time. The flute player has to play a wrong note to signify Amy's distress or Jamie's distress, and it's a very difficult technical detail that Sondheim insisted on. Yeah. All of those wee small intricate kind of thing. He just was a genius. The man was a genius. In Company, the rhythm of Bobby, 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 baby, Bobby, Bobby is meant to be an anxiety attack. Okay, and the ticking of a clock and the racing heart. Yeah. And then that is because Bobby and Amy are meant to be of similar, I've got out of all the characters, they're the most similar. Yeah. That's why that's the anxiety, but also her patter song or his patter song. Yeah, it's very funny. Interestingly, though, for another musical lyrical lingo from that song, they sing, "Look, perhaps I'll claps in the apse right before you all." Yeah. So anybody who doesn't know, apse of a church is the large semicircular or polygonal recess in a church, arched or with a dome roof. and usually containing the altar. That's called the apse.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm glad I shared it with you.
I didn't know that.
I was like, Lauren will know that one.
Nope.
She'll be like rolling her eyes at me going, I knew that already.
Didn't know that at all.
What else did you learn?
In the song, you could drive a person crazy.
You could drive a person crazy.
By not choosing is making a choice. That was the first time I went, that is so true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
You're not
absolutely.
choosing, you're making a choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep.
It is deep. Some fun facts. The original production featured a long dance break that was so intense, Donna Mackenzie reportedly went through multiple pairs of shoes.
Oh, but nobody needs a long extended dance break in company.
No. And did you know in the draft, Sondheim wrote a much darker ending, and Hal Prince said, no, you remove it.
What was the dark ending though? How did they end it? Nobody knows.
No, do I know? Search my brain here. I think it was more ambiguous.
Okay.
And maybe much more like doom and gloom, and Hal Prince made him change it, and then being alive was added.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to, if you just listen, now maybe this could also be me because I've got terrible hearing. If you just listen to being alive, you might not be aware of the slight change of one little word.
Yes.
So being alive, which is where Bobby sort of admits to his vulnerability, I suppose, or their vulnerability.
Yeah, it's kind of teaching the lesson that vulnerability required for commitment is worth the risk.
Yeah.
It allows us to fully experience life.
Well, yeah.
It's that kind of commitment over comfort.
Yeah, 100%. So really, as you've been watching it, you're kind of very aware that Bobby feels like he's okay being single.
Yeah.
And so he's fine. So during Being Alive, which I think is a beautiful song. Yeah. He says, someone to hold me close. Yeah. And it's a bit like in what you were saying, why would I want that? Why would I want that? Yeah. But then it goes from someone to somebody.
Yeah, at the end, Bobby's singing somebody.
Yeah. It's the difference between living and watching life, which is what, oh my goodness, I've forgotten her name, Joanne. Yeah. Which is what Joanne's song is all about, is she just watches life go by now. Yeah. So,
yeah, somebody hold me too close, somebody hurt me too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lyric change is it's a direct request for these reactions rather than a vague idea of them. Yeah. So like changing that general someone to at the beginning of the number to a specific somebody emphasizes Bobby's growing desire to have someone in their life and to do the things they mentioned. I also, that kind of theme of alone versus lonely. Yes. Throughout the show, like company draws on a sharp distinction between being physically alone, and interesting when you said about one of the original productions with the elevators, and the elevators were there to show the loneliness, but that distinction between being physically alone and being lonely, Bobby frequently observes their married friends are lonely even when together, while Bobby is single and not necessarily lonely. So the show reminds us that loneliness is an internal state, not just the absence of a partner or being coupled doesn't cure that loneliness. Yeah, absolutely. And also I like to see it. That was me for years. Bloody hell, that was me for years. I think that as well, we have to, that this is from Bobby's viewpoint. Yeah. So just how we do with anybody, like we don't understand what goes on behind closed doors. So he doesn't he's seeing them. Yeah. Maybe masking, he's seeing them in group settings. He's not actually seeing their true relationship, so he's never going to understand what a marriage is until he's in his own marriage. Yeah. And therefore, it'll be completely different again. Sondheim said about Being Alive, he didn't want a happily ever after. I wanted a happily ever now. The show isn't about finding a wife. It is about finding the courage to stay in the room. Yeah. And he shows that big moments usually found in musicals, the big ta-da, aren't needed, or they aren't the lesson.
that life actually happens in the details, and that's where he is so clever. Like Sondheim shows that if you ignore the details, you miss the person. God and love is in the small stuff.
Yeah.
And another example of his beautiful writing is when Joanne sings about the hat, and she goes, does anyone still wear a hat?
Yeah.
The word still conveys her age and her, I can't say that word, cynicalisms.
Yeah.
And that the world is moving on without her. So by actually adding that word, it changes the phrasing.
Yep.
And therefore you get more of an understanding into her character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about here's to the ladies who lunch, or ladies who lunch as it's called. So both as a social phenomenon and a famous musical theatre song, it offers those complex lessons regarding gender roles, aging, and that social structure of an affluent woman. Because that was often, like, it was historically, even that phrase ladies who lunch was like associated with the wealthy idle socialites of the 1950s to 70s. And the terms like evolved to represent themes of camaraderie almost, and emotional support and self-reflection. So after a drunken night, Joanne, honest to goodness, I have never heard a theatre go so quiet.
Oh, really?
When Patti LuPone started this song. And when I mean jaws were on the floor by the end of it.
With anticipation.
With anticipation. And then she started, and it was Patti LuPone, and she, like, this is probably one of the best musical theatre numbers she does.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? She has played Joanne so many times. She knows that character. And she's just the right make and build for it. Do you know what I mean? Vocally and everything. And it was just like, so the anticipation of it, first of all, then she opened her gob and she started singing it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until the end, where she's like, everybody rise, rise. Yeah. You're just like, oh my goodness. And because I was well within, in my mind, I was going, let's just go and see this. Yeah, we won't see Patti. She won't be on. Because I don't know what night it was. Maybe it was a night I kind of went, there's no way she's doing. It might have even been a matinee that we went to. I can't remember. But whatever it was, I was like, Dad, there's not a chance. There is not a chance we are seeing Patti LuPone in London tonight. And we absolutely did. And it was just amazing. So after a drunken night, Joanne sings of the different kinds of upper middle class women in the world. And as the song progresses, Joanne's verses become sadder until she begins to sing of those who just watch, turning the song into like a soliloquy about the person she realizes she is.
That's it.
It shines a spotlight on the danger of a cynical and shallow life. You know, the song serves as a cautionary tale, with the character Joanne criticizing herself and others for engaging in frivolous activities and judgmental behavior, ultimately highlighting the emptiness that can come from a lack of purpose. Yeah. It's like it's got so many layers to one song, and it has so many layers. Like, it's just so clever.
That's just his work.
Yeah, it's just so clever.
That's just him. And it has to be studied. And I've heard people compare Sondheim to our generation's Shakespeare, and I stand by it.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Stand by it.
Absolutely. It was amazing.
This is one for, are you still talking about that song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because you mentioned about does anyone still wear a hat? Yeah. So she sings, off to the gym, then to a fitting, claiming they're fat and looking grim because they've been sitting, choosing a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? Patti LuPone.
Yeah, that's great.
So when the musical was released, this song was a playful jab at Joanne's own age and disconnection from younger people and fashion trends, because hats had fallen off fashion since the 1970s, so only has the disconnection gotten stronger. It is now also, it also can be interpreted as her refusing to move on from the past and accept the future. Yeah. She also mentions she says a line about dinosaurs surviving the crunch. Yeah. Another chance to disapprove.
Yeah, which is, again, where his work is so clever because those lines are so much more powerful.
Yeah.
And you look at a Sunday, very few people wear hats going to church now. Well, that's something that was definitely done back in the day, and who really survive, whenever there's a credit crunch or anything going on. Yeah. So,
and the last one, I always think of you because I know you know this information.
Yeah.
She sings about another long, exhausting day, another $1,000, a matinee, a pinta play, perhaps a piece of Mala. Yeah. Here's this one's for Mala. Harold Pinter, the British playwright. But Gustav Mahler, do you know who he was?
No.
He was an Austro-Bohemian romantic composer and one of the leading conductors of his generation. I'll drink to that. And one for Mahler. My favourite line in it.
Is that your favourite?
Honest to God, I just think it's hilarious. She's brilliant.
I think it's a great song.
Perhaps a piece of Mahler. I'll drink till that.
I'll drink till that.
And one for Mahler. That's me.
That's pretty much me, just apart from actually I looked a wee bit more into his rules for writing. So when he was talking about getting married today, the trick to the patter song is not, which is one that I think I'm going to quote this whenever I am doing my speech and drama lessons to some of my pupils. The trick to the patter song is not just speed, but consonants.
Yeah.
If the performer can't click, and this is what I was going to say, is what I always remind your dad, can we pronounce all the letters in the word?
Is that what he would have said to you? Hilarious.
Even if we were doing grip, myself in our singing lessons.
No, because she always pronounced every consonant in the word. Yeah.
No, as a grip, whenever we're singing Billy Joseph or something.
Oh my goodness, all these years later, he's still giving you notes.
I know.
I just realised that. Rude.
The consonants. If the performer can't click the ends of the words, the audience loses the story. It is not a song. It is a mechanical crisis. So he had 3 rules. Content dictates form. Did I say that right? Content dictates form. So the pattern, the rhythm of company is that it's always a busy New York City. Less is more. One perfect word is better than 10 pretty ones.
Yeah.
Which we've said that before about Sondheim. And God is in the details. True soul, quality of magic, or quality and magic of a work are found in the smallest, most meticulous parts.
Yeah. God, I wish I'd met the man.
I think he's just...
He would definitely be like, that dinner party game where you're like, who would you invite to a dinner party? Yeah. Like he would be at my dinner party.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I don't know how him and Marion Margulies they'd flip and love each other, wouldn't they? Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, because you do have a big birthday coming up.
No, I don't. I don't have a big birthday coming up.
You do.
I don't at all. Oh my God.
I don't, but you do. So anyway, if you're blowing out your candles, what lingo would you like your friends to use to describe your life?
Oh my, Lauren, that is so deep.
No, it's not.
What lingo?
Or like what word? I just chose lingo because we're musical lyrical lingo.
When I'm blowing out my
big birthday cake candles.
My cake candles. Oh, I don't know, Lauren.
What would you like your friends to use to describe your life?
Colourful.
Oh, I love it. That's nice. I'd say loyal.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but just to a select few.
Yeah, I don't know now. Don't know.
And I'm not celebrating a big birthday, so I can't answer that question. So.
Give over. Like, will you shut up? What were your standovations?
My standovations are being alive, side by side.
I had side by side, yeah.
And Ladies Who Lunch.
Yeah, so Ladies Who Lunch, Patti LuPone in particular, I do love the woman. That 2018 West End production, because I just think the gender swap was incredible, and Rosalie Craig was sensational. I think it's a production I would never be tired seeing again. Do you know what I mean?
And do you, if you're listening to the cast recording, is that the cast recording you listen to?
Absolutely, okay. And I relive it every single time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
And you would, go to the original or go to any of the
I don't tend to anymore. No, I really don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had side by side and company, lots of company. Yeah.
I highly recommend you watch the documentary. It's on YouTube.
Will do.
I highly recommend, if you have not seen any production of Company, you find, whether it's the BBC 4 Donmar one.
With Adrian Lester, isn't it?
I know the 2011 one is definitely on YouTube. Or go see a production of it.
Yeah. Although I did see one that wasn't great.
Go try.
And that's the thing. Like, a bad production of Company can really kill Company for you. Like, it has to be good. It has to be really well thought out and put together.
And study it. Like, look at the lyrics and look at the characters who are singing those songs. You know, we say this often, sometimes you can just listen to a cast recording and you're going to follow along fine, but because this has no linear plot.
Yes. It's harder, isn't it?
It makes it slightly harder. And just go and fall in love with Sondheim all over again.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I think every musical we do of him, I'm like, he is a genius. He was a genius.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think he is the best musical theatre composer there's ever been. Although if we ever do the best musical, like top 5 musical theatre composers, we've just now spoiled the climax, haven't we?
We edit this.
We'll do that in 6 years' time when you've forgotten we said that. Anyway, until the next time, come back and you'll have forgotten what we've said this week, sure?
Yeah, like we always do.
Yeah, I know. At least I haven't forgotten the beginning, right?
I know, but that is true.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical.
Don't do that, people think they've just tuned in.
Oh yeah, they'll think they're doing a double. Science fiction, double feature.
Oh my gosh, it's so late. Okay.
It's so late, bye.
Tune in as the memories grow.